Okay, essentially, I've learned to blend. Essentially, I've learned to blend animations. Um, Basically, I'm blending two Mixamo animations in Blender using the nonlinear animation editor. And pretty much what you do is you import your T-pose, and the T-pose can't be the direct T-pose. Let me show you. Okay, so the T-pose that you import has to be the T-pose from the library that's on your custom character. It can't be without these parameters. Um, and then you download your animations, same frame rates, whatever the frame rate you choose. Um, then you import, and in my case it's an FBX, and we'll just take one of the imports. And I believe it's right here now. So we're going to rename this, and that was I believe that was that. And you rename this. It's the most important to rename to make it easy to figure out what is what. Then you'll need to add an extra track in here, which let me see if you go to dope sheet first. Oh, okay. So you have to have your character's armature selected, the one that everything's getting applied to, nonlinear editor. So that knows it goes to this one, which for me it's called actor. And I'm going to add, track. So now I should have had another track, but let's try that again. Add track. Okay, so now I got a new track, and then from a new track, you basically add track action stripped. In the action strip, you type in the name of your target character animation, whatever it might be called, and then you have that. So you see how it has this weird thing? It's because it's not blending. It's not set to blend. So let's take a look at the one animation. Oh, okay, we got some issue going on here. What is that? Huh. I haven't seen that before. Let's see if we set for auto blend. Oh, I know what's going on. This character's showing itself. You want to mute the character so you can't see it. And now we have our animation. So this is the animation we just brought in. So this, it's a good starting animation. I'm doing the auto blending, and let's see how this looks. So too fast of a transition. So what if we do something like this? He's not walking. Now the question is, why is he not walking? What happens if I move down? So the track order might matter. I'm not really sure about that. I think the track order does matter. It goes from track to track. in order from top to bottom, I think. So let's increase this track's length. So we got some weird glitchiness, but it is blending, and that's the important part. The fact that it's blending. So a person would want to be pretty selective in how and what they blend. So the tiniest of overlapping, but it's jumpy. Why? Because the pose is too different between the two. So you can split the track, and it's split it in the wrong place. But the fact that you can split the track is great. So if I split it here, and then this part here, if I were to increase its length, and maybe turn the blend off on this one. Yeah, there we go. Maybe turn the blend off on this one, and then turn end blend on this one. So blend, oh, what did I just do? Oh, okay, good. Maybe this one should blend in. Go ahead and make that go longer. So idling pose, walking, and then the jumping's just not working. Why is the jumping not working? I'm not honestly sure. So my thoughts on that would be use that to the top and see what happens. So the top track is the active track, but what if I highlight them all? Then none of them are active? So the top two tracks are active. So does that mean you can only have two active tracks at once? Okay, so I'm gonna test, can I put... No, you can have more than two active tracks. Okay, so it looks like it's working. So we have this animation, it goes up to about 200 frames, so I'm going to end it at 200 frames. It's not the greatest animation in the world, but it should work. So if we go File, Save, let's go Blend, Animation, and let's let's just go ahead and save that. And let's go ahead and export the FPX. And export it with everything except modifiers. Because modifiers get rid of blend shapes and we need our blend shapes. And call this V1 blend animation. And we'll export that. And then what we're going to actually do is close out the Blender and just bring into a new... Ooh. So I may have rushed that. Anyway, what I'm going to do next is bring it back in and see if it brings the whole animation as one piece. If it does, then I can move on to the next step of